Hi there, it's me again, it's T-Top. Today I'm here to review my Shoei XR1000 helmet. It's done in the alloy colour scheme. Very simple, nothing extravagant or overtly obscene compared to my Arai, but it does the job. I used to have a black and silver bike, so it kind of matched it. The Shoei, it's actually a well-made, very light helmet. It's only 1,350 odd grams quoted, and it certainly feels like it. It's very light to wear on the head, very aerodynamically efficient, as you can see from the shape, compared to my Arai, which is rather large and boxy. The venting is all external, and it's done through a pressure-fed system. The Shoei, on the other hand, has venting integrated into its liner. That's why it manages to keep its very sleek aerodynamic profile. I can't really show you too well, but no, it doesn't work. But what I was trying to show you is that they actually have channels in the liner itself. So it's you have the actual soft padding, the liner, and then on top you have the shell, and that's where it has the channels that ducts all the air into it, and it gives you a cool head, which is why there's no need for external vents other than the two intakes, which is it sounds very robust. It's got two open positions. You have a closed, semi-open, and a fully open position, and then at the back you have the exhaust vents. You don't know that the vents are working because they don't generate a lot of wind noise, but it does work, and it keeps your head cool over the summer. It's got the rather cumbersome and clicky chin vent. Originally this helmet comes with a pin lock. It started off first before Arai started copying it. Also got a visor lock, which is pretty cool, so it doesn't allow you to open the visor at speed. And it's got a ratchet mechanism, so you could keep your helmet open in specific positions and it won't budge. Well, that's how it's supposed to be, but I always have to use the helmet lock and open it up like that if I want defogging properties. My only gripe about this helmet is that it's noisy. It's not as noisy as my Arai. Remember, it's always good to have earplugs in when you're riding so that you don't damage your ear. My ear's already fucked anyway because I do a lot of playing about with my guitar. Amplifiers turn to 11, or I'm wearing my headphones and I crank up the volume, and it's always fast metal or punk and heavy distortion. And on the road it's not too much different between music. It's always the engine and an open exhaust can and the wind. So eventually, by the time I'm 30, I'll be as deaf as my granddad. But it's always one thing to consider when you're buying helmets: wind noise. It doesn't have a chin curtain like the Arai model does. I actually got this moved. I pilfered it from my old HJC helmet and stuck it in there because it doesn't have it. Arai do have a thing called a whisper kit that attaches into the bottom of the helmet, and it keeps a snugger fit, so you don't have wind channeling from underneath. Quite as to why they don't have it as standard, it's leaves me a bit confused, because for a £300 or so helmet I would want that as a standard feature. I bought this from JNS for £199, so I wasn't missing out on much. Visor change mechanism, like I've already demonstrated how easy an Arai is. Shoei, it's also easy. No side pods, so less wind noise, but it doesn't look as sexy. You just pull the triggers down and it just pops straight off like that. Also, I've got a black visor from racevisors.com as well, and it's just got locator pins. Oh, not locator pins, but it's pull the trigger thing down, and it's got a notch that you locate, goes straight in. Likewise, do it on the other side as well. Notch. Takes a bit of fiddling, and it should go straight in like that. The only downside is that I've tried putting on the visor with it on my head. Doesn't work. You're just trying to do it with a glove. No. It's a very good lid. The only downside, as I mentioned, it's got no chin bar. It leaves your chin a bit more exposed compared to the Arai. The peripheral vision, if you're in the crouch position like that, you can only see up to there, and it obscures your view a bit. And I have to tell you that the liner is non-removable, which is why I decided to go for the Arai. Back in the day when I used to have an afro as a hairstyle, it was perfectly fine because it kind of fits snugly, but the skull cap's not removable. I'm trying to pull it out and it wouldn't pull out, so I had to buy new cheek pads and fit extra small ones, so it pushes my cheeks further in and keeps it more snug. And I don't think that's a good way of securing a helmet for fit. One thing to also consider, I know people say you're either an Arai head or a Shoei head, and I find both helmets equally comfortable, but for a longer journey I'd certainly pick this, because it doesn't generate as much wind noise compared to the Arai, but the Arai is more comfortable in terms of comfort, not wind noise. But it's like chalk and cheese essentially. I'll leave it for you to decide. One good advice from me is go to a shop, try it on, ask for their opinion, and listen to what they have to say, because at the end of the day you don't want to pay 500 quid for an Arai, or a 400 quid for a top of the range Shoei, or a 300 for this, only to find out it doesn't fit your head. But thankfully for me, both of them have been comfortable, so Shoei, there you go.